Hello, my name's Russell and it's just a weekly Porky's Blast. The Porky's. Can't even get my words out today, can I? Right, let's go through the weekend's entertainment. Right. Lewis Ritson, what do I think to him? I think he's real deal. Everybody he goes in with, he destroys them, doesn't he? I think he's Euro level already. I think Scott Cardle's British level. How can I explain it? I think he goes all the way. I think he can win a world title in Lewis Ritson. Very, very good. And how good was that Robbie Barrett's performance against him? Because that's the hardest fight he's had in it, really. I know people are saying that Steffi Bull's clutching at straws with that fight, but I think nobody knew Ritson, did they then? Do you know what I mean? And I think he goes all the way. Ritson beat Josh Kelly, didn't he? So let's look at it like this. Ritson beats, that phone call was from me off then, that text. Ritson beats Cardle, he's just beat him, hasn't he? He's beat Barrett, Joe Murray. It's all about timing, isn't it? Would he have beat Joe Murray 2 years ago? No. Joe Murray's going to be one of them, like, there's going to be a question mark at side of him, isn't there? He had everything going for him, world bronze amateur. Bad matchups, bit of bad luck with injury and that. I rated him as well, Joe Murray, and I think it's a shame what's happened. But I heard he took that fight and he wasn't ready, he wasn't in best shape. But Joe Murray in good shape, he'll do you some damage. I think he's a good fighter, but maybe he's had his best days. Who knows? It's boxing, isn't it? But Lewis Ritson, he's one for the future. Him. I know I've got a book there from his manager, Phil Jeffries. I know him very well, Phil. He's mates with Dennis. They've got a good setup up there. They love the boxing. He loves Sunderland more though, Phil. But he'll go out way, Ritson. I just don't want him to be a Kevin Mitchell type. You know what I mean? Really exciting, goes for it, goes for a knockout and that. And I want him to be like Kevin Mitchell, because every fighter, if you can be as good as Kevin Mitchell, that's brilliant, isn't it? Because you're going to bring fans in. When Kevin Mitchell were coming through, he was more exciting than Amir Khan, wasn't it? Because he had that. He didn't have that Olympic pedigree, but he was a tough kid, wasn't he, and exciting. And if Ritson can be as good as Kevin Mitchell, but add a little bit more and be a little bit more patient, it'd be brilliant. I mean, look what Kevin Mitchell did to the guy who beat Amir Khan, Prescott. Took him to school, didn't he? Well, so he's alright in Ritson. Callum Johnson. I feel sorry for Callum, he's lost his dad and his head hasn't been right, has he? But he's a lovely kid. And he can whack him. Woo, can he whack? And I thought he fought brilliantly, and I'm very pleased for him because I think he's got a good temperament about him. He don't go shouting and bawling. He goes about his business quietly, and I think he'll go all the way. Does Baturbia, Kovalev and Bivol hit harder than Callum Johnson? Hello? Yeah. Hey up. Ha, has he? Alright. Okay. I'm just in the middle of an interview. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Go on. Joshua stopping with Eddie Hearn. Fucking hell. Right? I knew it was true. I've just had a text off somebody before that. Fucking Eddie Hearn, how does he do it, man? Unbelievable. So, anyway, what are then? Callum Johnson. I think he's a really, really good fighter. It's 8 years this summer since he won that gold medal, Callum Johnson, in amateurs at Commonwealth Games. And his career's been stop. He actually fought one of my school friends, John Anthony from Doncaster, and John got disqualified, I think, for holding, because he said he hit that hard, I had to hold him. But yeah, he'll go outweigh him, Callum Johnson. He's got a good trainer behind him. We all give Joe. Sorry, I was going to say Joe Johnson. And we all give Joe Gallagher stick. Only reason I give Joe Gallagher stick is his matchmaking. Why would you put Paul Smith in with Andre Ward unless you were cashing him out? You don't go from fighting Tommy Tolan to Andre Ward, do you? Go check on BoxRec, you'll see for yourself. Tommy Tolan. Then a few months later, 3 or 4 months later, he's fighting Andre Ward. Come on. You're just going to get a good hiding, aren't you? I don't like that. And if you were cashing Paul Smith out then for his 30% trainer managers, well, why did he fight on? Because he fought Zug, didn't he, after? So he might have beat Zug if he hadn't had the good hiding off Ward. You don't know, do you? And who am I to judge anyway? I'm not a trainer or a manager or a matchmaker, am I? So who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? You know, I've been about boxing for 3 years now. I've been around it all my life, but I was helping Dennis for a year. You get to see things that go on, and I think the matchmaking from Joe Gallagher leaves a lot to be desired, because the Smiths have not beat a world champion, have they? Former, current or future? None. Who have they beat? Who's the best Smith win? And yet look at how good they were in amateurs. They were all fantastic, weren't they, in amateurs? All future world stars. Paul Smith were tipped to go all the way, wasn't he? Paul Smith were mega big news when he signed pro forms, Paul Smith. And the matchmaking has been shocking for him. Must do your confidence that in as a fighter. Must do your confidence in. Frank Buglioni, who just lost against Callum Johnson. He's never in a bad fight, is he, Frank Buglioni? Sells loads of tickets. He's exciting. I'm not sure about his wise guy nickname. I don't think he'd last too long if he were in prison. They'd all put a skirt on him and having a dance with him, wouldn't they? Because he's a cutie pie. But he can fight. But he's not a 175 pounder in my eyes. Frank Buglioni is, and I quote, a 12 stone fighter, 168 pound. No ifs, no buts, 168. If I was Steve Goodwin, I'd think, right, Frank Buglioni, you're only going to get paid on an Eddie Hearn show, aren't you? Put him in with Rocky Fielding for Commonwealth. Or let him fight winner of the Mohamedi versus Mohamedi on Friday for European. And Frank can step up to European at 168, or step down from British Commonwealth champion to a Commonwealth belt and regroup. Or throw the dice and go for European, then he'll get world ranked. That's his options. He's not a 175 fighter. He's never going to win a world title at 175 while you've got Peterbia, Bivol and Kovalev. They are three monsters. Monsters. So 168's poor. Frank Buglioni's got a chance of winning a world title at 168, trust me. Would he beat Callum Smith? Be a good fight. They used to room together, didn't they? Eddie would be rubbing his hands at that one. Now, so my bet from Ritson, Johnson and Brown, the accumulator, I would have won £2,350. But I didn't win nothing, so cheers, Johnny. I'll be at Peter's gym tomorrow. If you want to come and have a cuppa with me, I'll be there from morning. All right, mate. Cheers, pal. It's on Halliwell Road, Bolton. Cheers, mate. But yeah, the bet didn't win. So, but Ritson won, Johnson won by KO. I needed Brown by KO. So Dillian White, you cost me a lot of money. Same as Bellew's cost me a lot of money. Last few accumulators I've betted on it, and he's been in the final fight on accumulator. But I ain't got no against Tony Bellew. He can fight, can't he? Just because he ain't got big muscles and a six pack, don't mean say he can't fight. He can fight, but when I had that spat with him on Twitter, all I was saying to Tony were, who have you beat, Tony? You beat 2 former world champions, and the 4 belts that you've got, British, Commonwealth, European and a WBC belt, were all vacant belts, weren't they? Do they really count? You never beat a champion yet. So all I'm saying, Hay was a former champion, you dragged up £25. No, cleverly, a former champion, you dragged him up £25, but he dragged you down £25, didn't he? She's really a cruiser, aren't you, Tony? So I can see that being 1-1, but as regards Hay, he had one leg, didn't he? So the jury's out on that one. But you've done well, Tony, you're providing for your family. And if me saying what I said on Twitter upsets your 12-year-old son, I apologise. But you upset a lot of people on Twitter, don't you, Tony, with your comments? But what I said is that you're a fraud. You're not a heavyweight. You shouldn't be putting your name out with Wilders, Tyson Furies, Gassy. I just don't think you should be putting your name out with Tyson Fury, Gassiev, Ersk and Andre Ward. Okay, Johnny, I don't know if I'm going to be there on Friday, I'll let you know. But yeah, so, but I don't mean you're a fraud that you can't fight, Tony. You can fight, but you shouldn't be saying that you're pound for pound and you're a pay-per-view fighter. You're not a pay-per-view fighter. This pay-per-view with David A is a shite feast, an utter shite feast of 2 guys who are pensioned off, topping the pensions up. David A shouldn't be nowhere near a pay-per-view fight. He pulled out of 2 pay-per-views with Tyson Fury. The last one his leg snapped. He's pulled out of other ones. David A is not beat. Rocky, jump down. Go on, you're alright, jump. David A is not beat a world champion in 9 years. Who was that? That big giant guy. That was 9 years ago. Who's David A took a belt off since then? Oh! It's a shite feast. Frank Buglioni, I wish him well. Go to 168. Lucas Brown, you came in out of shape. You embarrassed yourself, but I wish you well. You're a nice lad. Callum Johnson, I wish you well. Good victory. Lewis Ritson, I wish you well. That was a good victory, and I wish Scott Cardle well, because he don't really cause any problems, does he? He only gets a bit of stick because Tesco Joe's his manager trainer. But I think Cardle needs to regroup, go back up north, probably get Billy Nelson as his trainer. Paulie Malignaggi's comments. Paulie Malignaggi is saying that, didn't we all know Canelo's dirty? Well, it's alright being an expert after the fact, Paulie Malignaggi, but why are you coming out with comments like that to keep your name out there? Wasn't you the guy that said Pacquiao was a drug cheat, but he's never failed a test? Your words, Paulie, not mine. When people start failing tests, then we can start calling them. So get back in your box. Ricky Hatton, he hopes Fury, fingers crossed, he hopes Tyson Fury comes back. Ricky Hatton hoping Tyson Fury will come back. Yeah, probably has got his fingers crossed. Same as Dominic Ingle's probably got his fingers crossed, because soon as something's not going to look right in that camp, the word is it's going to be Dominic Ingle or Ricky Hatton training Tyson. Now 10% of that's going to be a big pie, innit? So money talks and bullshit walks. So, but yeah, I hope he comes back as well. So Lou DeBella on about Joshua and Wilder. It's going to be 2019 summer. Does anybody care about Joshua Wilder now? Because you've got Eddie Hearn and Lou DeBella. They don't want to put them in ring together, do they? Lou DeBella and Eddie Hearn are going to be ringing WBC this week, forcing White and Wilder to be a mandatory. That's what they're going to do this week behind the scenes. Trust me, I know what goes on behind the scenes. I see it with my own eyeballs. Lou DeBella and Eddie Hearn are going to be on Mauricio Sullivan Jr., whatever his name is. They're going to be on his back all day and every day this week to get White mandatory forced against Wilder. Wilder's probably going to have to come to England and smoke him. That's what he's going to have to do. I don't even want to talk about Wilder and Joshua, because do you know what? Pair of them want to fight, so why just get on with it? If you want to fight somebody, you get on with it. You don't talk about money. You're going to get millions anyway. So what's the problem? Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Some sparring there for Carl Beard for Yuri Fury, but Carl Beard's 6'7", Yuri's 6'6". Peter wants somebody 6'3", and do you know who's ideal? David Allen, but his eye's injured. So that's that. Right, the next thing I'm going to go on about, Eddie Hearn, the White WBC mandatory. Oh, we've just been on about that with DeBella, haven't we? Yeah, they're going to force that. They're going to let Dillian White do the dirty work for Joshua. What I mean by dirty work is this. Eddie Hearn wants the WBC belt, because then what he's got, he's delivered all the belts for Joshua. And if Joshua beats Dillian White for WBC, who will Joshua have beat? Now let's look at it. Charlie Martin, worst champion in history. He won the belt because a guy fell over and did his knee. They were both ranked about 90 on BoxRec. Shocking. Vladimir, vacant belts, 18-month on settee. Parker, really, he got beat by Yuri Fury. And this one here, White. He'll beat, let's say White beats Wilder. Well, I'd be surprised if he did. But then they've got the belts then, because they know they know Joshua's already beat White, so he knows what to expect. Wilder's the uncertainty. So Joshua's going to let Dillian White do his dirty work for him and get all the belts. It's the biggest shite feast ever. Dillian White's beat Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown's his best win. BoxRec rank number 15, Lucas Brown. That's White's best win. Top 15 guy. He hasn't beat a top 15 guy after Brown, has he? Lucas Brown, point number 9. Lucas Brown, you let yourself down coming in with a bigger belly than me. It's more or less finding an eliminator for a world title fight. You're either going to get Joshua or Wilder. And you're coming in that shape, Lucas. I'm disappointed. Plus I lost my money. 2,350 quid. Chisora against Joyce. Derek Chisora's going to go nowhere near Joe Joyce. He's going to price himself out of it. What people do in boxing, they price themselves out things. Now, Derek Chisora's the gatekeeper. If you beat him, you're going to get to the big money, aren't you? He's ranked number 14 by WBC. You beat Chisora, you're in the mix, aren't you? He's a contender. Now, if he don't want to fight, if he wants to fight Joe Joyce, he's going to tell him he wants X amount. All Davey Day is going to be able to afford for Joe Joyce is foreigners or people of that level, or Dave Allen against him. If Dave gets the Commonwealth belt, they'll go for that. But who's to say that they won't put Joe Joyce in with Roy Thomas? You never know, do you? I personally don't think Dave Allen will fight that Lenroy again. I think it's become, I want him to, and I want him to win belt. I want him to win it so much, but it'd be an awful trilogy though, wouldn't it? If it were. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think that Dave should go down another avenue, fight Dubois. I think he's got more chance against him. WBA say Canelo is innocent. Well, that's why. Because they've thrown Canelo under a bus now, haven't they? The WBA are trying to claim him, aren't they? Isn't it lovely when you watch all these people squirm? Little squirmers. But Canelo should be ashamed of his sense, shouldn't he? All this about he should fly his own meat in. I tell you what, why don't they put a checklist out now? All fighters don't eat red meat. Because who eats red meat anyway as a fighter? None of them eat it until they fail a drug test. Then they say, oh, yeah, red meat. Do me a favour. Jesus. In 1920s, they used to fight 20 rounds, didn't they? 20 rounds. They didn't need all these diet wheys and amino acids and all this stuff that they shove down the necks. Just go back to having nothing. That's my opinion. Didn't hurt Jack Johnson, did it, when he were icing people? And I mean icing. Eddie Earn comments on Friday, look. White against Brown is going to be a war of attrition. Did it look like a war of attrition? Ricky Hatton, Brown against White is going to be a 50-50 war. You know, they're all going on about wars. Jesus. It's like the guy who I like, Ultra Sports Raw, what's he called? I haven't seen a picture of him yet, but he calls them Mortal Kombat, doesn't he? Or Frank M. Bison, First Stage Boss, Bullione. Look, White against Brown is going to be a war of attrition. Comments by Edward Hearn. Jesus, Eddie. Put a sock in it. Get back in your box. Joshua, I've brought life back into the division. How has Joshua brought life back into the division? How? How? Who's he beat? Who's he beat? Charlie Martin? Molina? Fucking hell, who? Takam in a dodgy stoppage. Vladimir in a life and death. That were a year ago. Who? Who have you beat? Who? Beat somebody, then come and tell me. If you knock Parker out, yeah, maybe. But he had a belt give him, didn't he? He got his belt on eBay. Froch gives Canelo the edge over Golovkin on BoxingScene.com. How does Canelo have the edge over Golovkin? How? How? He lost every round except 2 in first fight, so how has he got the edge in the second fight? I don't understand that, Carl. StubHub. Good old StubHub. Right. Today, if you go on StubHub, the 26th of March, at 1 PM, go on StubHub and have a look. You have got 46 tickets left at 300 quid, is it? Have a look. 600 quid. 3 tickets left at £2,000, and they're £2,000 face value, so that's good. And 46 tickets left at £600, and then they've got loads left at 40 quid. Loads left. I'm going to phone them actually now. We'll phone StubHub. And we'll see how many they've got left. We'll see. That's engaged. I'll do that another time. I'll put it on Twitter, but I can assure you that it's all lies about this StubHub. Oh, we're sold out with this, with that. My mate bought 2 tickets the other day out of them that are left at 46 quid, so there should be 44 left. Still on 46. It's a con. The 40 quid ones, it doesn't tell you how many's left. There's loads left. They did all that with Froch Groves. It's just a con. So you think you've got to get your ticket quick. It's just good promoting, but don't be fooled by it. Carl Froch's MBE. I recommended Carl Froch for his MBE after he fought Bute. I wrote a letter to Cabinet Honours Committee, and you have to get backing. I got backing. I got a letter from Jeff Powell sent here, Barry McGuigan, Barry Hearn, Vernon Coker, MP for Nottingham, Carl Froch's doctor, his mum Carol got me that. Who else was there? There was somebody else. I think it might have been myself. There was somebody else. Anyway, he got it, didn't he, 3 years later, so I'm quite proud of myself for that. But it's easy to recommend somebody. If you think they deserve it. Hey, listen, I didn't get Carl Froch's MBE, I just recommended it. I just thought he deserved it. They tend to give him you when you're retired, don't they? Obviously he got his when he was retired. But James DeGale and Joshua, they got theirs because the criteria is if you get a gold medal at the Olympics, you get an MBE. Now, I heard a little story that they were panicking about Joshua's gold medal, weren't they? Because he got a criminal record, hadn't he, for selling drugs. And he got caught with a 9 bar of weed, didn't he? So he was selling drugs and he battered that, oh is it, didn't he? He got remanded, he did 2 weeks in jail, so. But the criteria is, you know, he's turned his life around, so you've got to give him his dues. So he got his medal, so that's good. Phil Taylor got an MBE medal, didn't he? And he got it took off him in 1999 because he got done for a sex offence in Scotland, didn't he? 2 sex offences against 2 girls in a camper. Now, I think he should have had it took off him. And I think Sky should have dropped his contract, but they didn't, did they? So, but they're just facts, aren't they? It's only what it says on the internet. They're stated facts. He got convicted and he didn't lose his medal. So, and sorry, he didn't lose his Sky contract, but he lost his MBE, didn't he? But if you work hard, you can get an MBE, can't you? It's nice that people can recommend you for getting stuff like that. So that's that cleared up, because people were DMing me saying, oh, is it true that you recommended Carl Froch for his MBE? Yeah, I did, and he deserved it. Who do I respect in boxing? In boxing or as a person? Well, in boxing I respect Carl Froch, Peter Fury, Dennis Hobson, Dave Allen, Liam Cameron, Chris Smedley, Terry Chappendama, Martin Theobald, Andy White, is it? I respect them lads. The Boxing Coalition lads, I respect them. I respect them lads off Nuthouse podcast. I'll not say the names, but I respect all them lads. The Scottish kids, they're alright. Steve Wellings, all them boys. Andy, Tommy, all them, Brian, they're all good kids. They all get the time up, don't they, to talk boxing, which is good, isn't it? I'm fortunate that I can do this. You know what I mean? I'm a motor trader, so it's alright for me to do this, isn't it? I have a bit of time on my hands, I can mess about with things, can't I? You know, if phone rings, I just have to make sure that my cars are all spick and span and ready to go, don't I? So, which they are. So, dead anyway while April motor trade, but yeah, it's who out there can still win a world title who's not won one? So that's obviously people who've not people who've been for a world title and been beat. Frankie Gavin, he's no trainer, no manager, no promoter. I think Frankie Gavin, he can win a world title. Frankie Gavin, no ifs, no buts, he can win one, he's good enough to. Josh Kelly, they're saying he's going to fight Frankie Gavin on Sky in June. Eddie's gone quiet a bit on Frankie now, but I bet he rings up at the beginning of May and he gives him about 4 weeks to get ready, trust me. Frankie will beat Josh Kelly. Remember, you heard this off me first. A fit Frankie Gavin turns Josh Kelly on his head. On his head. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see, but I've always rated Frankie Gavin. Dennis rated him. When I used to work with Dennis, all he used to go on all the time, well, Frankie Gavin this, Frankie Gavin that, Billy Joe Saunders this, Billy Joe Saunders that. I wanted to sign both of them from Olympic team. They were my favourites that I wanted. And I can see why, because like they're mega skilled, aren't they? Mega skilled. And mega talented. And then you've got James DeGale. He's same, innit, but injuries, had bad injuries, hasn't he? You know, he's managed to get through with them injuries. He'll beat the kid in the rematch, that Caleb Truex. Hey, that kid dropped Jermaine Taylor, you know. When he fought Jermaine beat him, but... So we bring this to an end. It's been a good chat. There's a good over half an hour on it, and it's been a good catch up. It's been a good old blast. I haven't slayed anybody yet, but if you're watching Eddie, and I know you are, or your little rat Frank Smithies, or that other one, Anthony Lever, I just want to say I don't agree with what you're doing with StubHub. Even if it's all true about StubHub having to go through government to put tickets on there and ID and blah de blah, you've still had it off and had millions out of job. You're sheer greedy what you've been doing, and you should be embarrassed. And if you were a real man, you'd put Joshua in with Wilder, wouldn't you? But you're not going to do that, are you? Because why would you risk your cash cow fighting somebody who can fight when you can stick him in with Dillian White, somebody who is already knocked out? So I don't agree with that, but I think that boxing's in a good place. Me myself, I'm happy. I'm happy at the moment in boxing. I'm in a good place. I'm in a really good place. I want to thank Robert Lacoste for sorting me the t-shirts out. Ali at House of Churchill's in Doncaster for the shirts and that he's given me. Ledger Frames, Doncaster, Edlington Motors in Edlington, Doncaster. Thank you very much. And things are looking really good. The future is looking brilliant. The future is Porky's Corner.